What's up, everybody? This is your boy Heel Carmichael, and welcome to another installment of Heel Thoughts. This episode I'm going to talk about is WrestleMania. Night one, night two, over the weekend. It was. I wouldn't say it was terrible, because it wasn't. From night two, night one was dry. It was uninspiring. A lot of commercials, and not only that, some matches went by fast. Like I know WrestleMania took place at Las Vegas, and it was a different time zone, of which I get it. But the matches was fast. Like some women matches was like 8 minutes, like 4 to 8 minutes. It reminded me of the Divas era back in the day, where you get short match, or what people would like to say a bathroom break. Um, Night one would leave everybody a bad taste. People was shitting on night one. Like, oh, you look up in the social media, they're just straight up bashing it, and there's no way to defend it. Um, if I this pretty much is not a rundown, just like my general thoughts about it. I watch it with friends. I watch with my brothers from Embrace Your Thirst, Enforcer, and Reese. Night two, of course, the Wolfpack podcast. Shout out to them, Jaquez, um, uh, All Star, everybody else. Shout out to them. But now I finally took the time to look back and reflect on everything. WrestleMania Night 1 was Fumble Mania. WrestleMania Night 2 was Redeem Mania. Because they had to redeem themselves. Because if they didn't have a great show, most definitely the fans would eat this shit up, and AEW would definitely eat this shit up. Because we seen that the first tweet after night one, saying this were the best wrestle coming through to watch Dynamite. But from night one, the biggest takeaway from it was, um, I would say Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes match. There was a report that originally Randy Orton was supposed to win the match, but they go back to Cody retaining the title, which it was stupid. You could have did a lot with it, but I hear a lot of people saying, just because it's WrestleMania, it doesn't end at Mania. Yes, the fuck it do. Yes, it do. Um, Back in the day, you could get away with that during the Attitude Era. Prime example, Austin and Rock. Austin win the title, and then it leads to like a final chapter in Backlash, in which it make more sense back then. Fast forward to the Ruthless Aggression era, with two prime example: Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship. Chris Benoit win the World Championship, and they had a rematch again at Backlash at Canada, I believe. And surprisingly, he made Triple H and Shawn Michaels tap out back to back. And then a year later, Batista defeat Triple H. Uh, Batista Triple H have a good feud. It was like a 3-part feud: Backlash and Vengeance. It was a good trilogy, and Batista swept. That was okay because they have a story to build, and our patient was a lot, wider. But today, climate, our patient is not that great. We have a very short patient. If you're a purist, then your patient is pretty much flexible because you understand the story and you feel like, okay, this feel like there's more to the story, or just the start. In some cases, others, like, they want the story here and now. So it's a tale of two sides of the story. In this case, Randy Orton should have won the title. Randy Orton should capture. Now, do we need Pat McAfee? No. Now, you could have put Kevin Owens. That would have made a lot more sense, and you got a story revolved around it. reroute the situation. Excuse me. But if you put TKO, stick their notes into the storyline, then it will come out random and coming out shitty. Um, and then you look at night one again. You look at a lot of title changing hands. You look at the women tag team titles. The Bella twins, or should I say, Brie Bella and Paige, they won the tag team titles, and Nikki had to help them out with the crutches. Even though once you get healed up, you know they're gonna turn on Paige eventually. But it is what it is. I believe Irresistible Force, Nia Jax, and Last Legend. I wish they would keep the title because that was a dope tag team. They really are. I love the tag team. But then we gotta look at Seth Rollins versus Gunther. It was an okay match. It was a good match. I wouldn't say it was okay. It was a good match. Could have been a 5-star match. I mean, it could have been, but I feel like I forgot who said this. Um, WWE is more like a movie, and other is like a sport, pro wrestling. I think it was a lucha libre wrestler who said that. I believe because I feel like they're not focusing on the match quality; they're focused on the storytelling. But Gunther and Seth Rollins was a good match. I'm not going shit on it. And of course, Braun Breaker came back, which we all knew. So now the story will carry on with Seth Rollins against the Visions. And then we look at Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. I hope this will be the final match because AJ Lee been destroying Becky Lynch from WrestlePalooza, Survivor Series, Raw, and Wrestle. Well, then she took it at WrestleMania. So for Becky Lynch, I hope she could do something good with Intercontinental Championship title. And I feel like that title had more prestige than the Women U.S. title. Even though the U.S. Women title was there first, the Intercontinental Championship got a better rise. Um, then we look at the unsanctioned fight, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. That match could have been better. That match could have been a little more brutal, a little bit more bloody. But I feel like they played safe. Jacob Fatu deserved his wins because I know Drew McIntyre was supposed to do a movie, a Highlander remake. So Jacob Fatu, he deserved it. The match could have been a little bit more brutal because I came up from the hardcore era, the ECW, the Attitude era, the FMW, XPW. It could have been a lot more violent, a lot more crazier. But AEW they took that away from WWE. It is what it is. Speaking of that, the 6-man tag match, the Usos, LA Knight against Vision and I Show Speed. I expect Cameron to show up because with all the talk and hype, but Cameron didn't show up. LA Knight and the Usos they won. I Show Speed, he did his thing. Surprisingly, they released a WWE Funko Pop, just like matters of minutes, which is crazy. Um, very a dry, cold start the WrestleMania because I got so used to seeing the pay per view start off hot, raise the bar, and we expect from the pay per view. But I guess I got that vibe from AEW, and you expect the same thing from WWE, but two different breed, and you're not going to get that. Just two different promotions, and just like my brother Enforcer, don't get your expectation up. Don't get too high. Um, Overall on that night one, it was a fumble. It was dry. Now, night two, this where they redeem themselves. And I feel like after that night two was over, I wish they go back to night one. They don't need to do night two ever again because they tried to be like Wrestle Kingdom. Because remember, during the pandemic, uh, I think Summer Olympic took place in Tokyo, I believe, and New Japan wanted to bring more tourists to see what's what's really going on in New Japan. Well, pretty much New Japan want to bring tourists over to see excitement in Tokyo because they bring Olympics over there and they want, try to make some money on business size. But ever since then, WWE do night one, night two shit, and it was okay, but sometimes it'd be like, come on, what are we doing? It's getting crazy. The best night one, night two Mania is probably WrestleMania 40 because the whole Roman Reigns thing. But if we look at night two, I feel like this one, saved Mania. And this is what I call Redeem Mania because the first match, Obafemi defeat Brock Lesnar. This match was very important, more important than the World Heavyweight Championship. The reason why I say that, because if Obafemi would have lose that match, it would have taken the air, the spirit, the heart out of Mania. It will be a zombie Mania because it would have been dead on arrival. But since Obafemi defeat Brock Lesnar in a very short match, very impactful. Did I expect it to be a 5-star match? Did I expect it to be like a long 20 or 15-minute match? Obafemi he can go because what we see him in NXT. But Brock Lesnar he can go too, but he can do whatever he want to do. But Obafemi win the match. Also, two things. The first part, Obafemi tip his hat off to Brock Lesnar. That's the first thing that people may or may not see. Second part, Brock Lesnar retire. Um, I was thrown off. I'm pretty sure everybody's thrown off about that. It's very unreal to see that, and not only that, I know it was real when Brock Lesnar started crying because I know it meant a lot to him. And I know what a lot of people felt about Brock Lesnar with the whole, legal bullshit. But to me, in my honest opinion, Brock Lesnar is the legend. Is he a GOAT? In the ruthless aggression era? Yes. Now, uh, not so much. You know what? Better yet, he's a legend in sports of not only in pro wrestling but combat. Cause you gotta think about it. Brock Lesnar is a NCAA heavyweight champion, multiple time WWE champion, King of the Ring, Warrior Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, former IWGP heavyweight champion. Uh, I know people in Japan did not like that. Um, he used to play for football, UFC, become the UFC heavyweight champion. I mean, he done it all, and only three people in the world sports of pro wrestling who can say that. Ken Shamrock, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, former UFC champion. Dan Severn, former, of course, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and NWA champion as well. But not too many wrestlers who can say that. Unless you want to throw in Shinsuke Nakamura, but who fought in MMA, but he's a multiple time champion in New Japan. But either than that, Obafemi wins the match. Then we look at the ladder match. Javar Aaron should have won that match. I'm sorry. Javar Aaron should have won the Intercontinental Championship, but I feel like they teasing it, and I expect bigger things for Javar Evans because he should have won the title in NXT. For damn sure, he should win the title in Triple A and WWE US title because I feel like Javar Evans, he worked very hard to get where he at. But to be honest, I don't know what they're going to do with him, and I feel like they should give him the chip. Just give him a run because he put in so much work every single time. But it is what it is. Penta he won, or should I say, he retained his Intercontinental Championship, and he's a fighting champion. I give him that. And then we look at another match, the United States Championship match. Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. People expect the double turn between Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, but the turn is already there because Sami Zayn he's a heel by I guess by default, and Trick Williams he's already a babyface. More in a more natural way because they love him. They love his swag, and plus he's more natural because he's not forced to become a different character. He's been that way since day one in NXT, and people like him. I should say they grew more to him, but as more and more he developed in NXT and through main roster, hell, even through TNA, people really enjoy his work as a performer and as a character. But other than that, Trick Williams he defeats Sami Zayn. Very it was a very entertaining match. I would say it was a really good match. Uh, I put him like on a 5-star match, in which it wasn't, but it was a good entertaining match, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Trick Williams. Mostly they will focus on the U.S. title. Back in the day during the ruthless aggression era when the U.S. title was very important. But I do see that title be a main focus, and I do see Camilla Hayes gunning for that title, and maybe potential teaming up with Trick once again once the feud is over. It would be like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano type of style. Then we look at the street fight with the Demon and Dominic Mysterio. Two things I took away from it. Triple A Mega Championship title was not on the line, in which that could have made a big history moment. And number two, the match it wasn't violent, but it was brutal just enough for the WWE environment. Um, could have been like violent like ECW on TNN. It could, but is like a level of like Triple A and TNA type of style of brutality. Same thing with an non-sanctioned match with Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. But it was very good, very entertaining match. I love the Demon, and with the Demon persona, I'll hope they keep that around. Like for a special event, like the NXT Takeover era, where Finn Balor had to defend his title each every other takeover. And then you look at Jay Cardell and Rhea Ripley. I was pulling for Jay to win. Am I a big fan of her? I mean, she's a good wrestler, but she playing her part. But Rhea win his title, and she become the new WWE Women Champion. She could be the most decorated women champion of all time because she win every single title except for the Intercontinental Championship and the U.S. title. If she win that both titles, then she will be a Grand Slam champion for the women division. But yeah, it was a good match. Jay Carter hit the one winged angel, but now she called Sandstorm. Okay, but it was a very good match. Then we go to the main event. This match lived up to the hype. Um, was it 5-star match? Yeah, it was. It was a level of Wrestle Kingdom. I know that's crazy and may sound, but it gives me that. I was pulling for CM Punk to win because I don't want that title to go MIA. But Roman Reigns and CM Punk they tell a good story between them two. At the end, Roman Reigns win the World Heavyweight Championship, and after the match was over, the pre-show, I mean the post-show, Roman and Obo they teasing to fix each other. Oba won Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns won Oba. I feel like that match has said no. But overall, the whole WrestleMania, I'm still calling it Redeem Mania because they had to redeem themselves for night two. Night one, it was Fumble Mania. In my humble opinion, I wish they threw away the night one, night two shit because I feel like they overdone it. I feel like they try to make money off of it, but if night two is better than night one, then that says a lot. And I'm curious what's next for all the stars who win the match at Mania. Um, Potential Money in the Bank winners, King of the Ring winners, which I will talk about that down the road. But also the tag team title need more respect. That's what I'm saying. But but yeah, man, I enjoy Mania for night two, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. Support the channel, leave, like, share, comment. That's my thoughts. See you guys later.